That's probably pretty good.
All right, we're going to go and close this one on out today. Again, this is Project Humanity. Curtis Williams and Zach Service over here at PJ's Coffee, having a good cup. What were we talking about before we had a heat problem?
We were talking about the city looking the same way, bringing investment.
Yeah. And I think we need to really look at that. Honestly, as a business person, that's who you got to deal with when you come to the city. That's why your job is in Madison, Ridgeland, and Flowood.
Plus, you know, not only do you have to deal with that foolishness, but you got to deal with that they want a bribe. Otherwise, they're going to vote no for anything you do.
I heard that.
You can't even get a permit without sliding something under the table.
I heard that.
Yeah, I talk to people every week who have to deal with this.
I heard it. I'm saying allegedly, I heard that too. So why would you want to come here? And let's just leave the bribe part out of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick to the raw boo-boo part of it. Like, this is who I have to talk to.
Yeah.
As a business professional.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait until you all get some sense together and vote better.
Yeah.
And again, I'm looking for the next 10 years, 12 years for Jackson to put some younger people in office so that we can start transitioning our elders into a comfortable retirement. That's what I'm looking for, Zach, and that's what I'm looking for in the candidate. And y'all know me. If Zach doesn't deliver on that, you're going to hear from me as we vote Zach's ass up out of there in 4 years.
As you should.
And Zach know that
That's
about me.
Accountability.
We either going to be moving forward or we going to be saying, oops, I made a mistake and chose the wrong person. We're going to have to see you later, sir.
Yeah.
But right now, Jackson needs to say that about the rest of them.
Yeah.
We need to see y'all later. Especially if one of the candidates, you've been a senator, right?
Yeah. 32 years.
Is that United States Senator?
Nope, that's
Mississippi?
Yep, state senator.
But still, no monies to Jackson? I'm sorry, I'm sitting in some of the monies.
Yeah, there's been some of them.
Fondren is beautiful over here.
I think one of the other projects he had something to do with was the Robert Smith Parkway, I believe.
Where is that located?
By JSU.
Jackson State?
That's that.
It's a parkway
with the parkway with the roundabouts.
The roundabouts that don't nobody maintenance or take care of. You talking about where the big dip in the water is over there?
Probably.
So we did something half-assed for Jackson State, is what you're saying. Because that's not a damn parkway. That's a roundabout area with some dips in it that's not being maintained. And it wasn't done with the best of design.
There's no development around it either. It's a parkway that almost no one uses.
So I appreciate you giving us a street with no stop sign.
But I've got a plan to revitalize that area.
That whole area should be something.
It needs to. It's going to be. I want to say prophetically, it's going to be a college hub. We're going to revitalize those neighborhoods, make them homes that can be rent to own by students. You know, if they want to plant the roots here, otherwise they can take good care of it, renting it, and then pass it off. You know, when they leave. But there need to be options. For them to not have to go 15 minutes away to find a grocery store.
I agree.
For them to feel like, hey, and I've been telling people this. Did you know that JSU police have jurisdiction within a mile of the campus?
So they can be all swarmed around.
Yep, they should be over off of Rose Street. They should be over off of what's that one where Mission First is
Lynch?
At? Yeah, I don't know if they go as far as Lynch, but all those little neighborhoods right along J.R. Lynch and Robertson Street, Robertson Smith Parkway, they could be, and they're allowed to assist JPD outside that jurisdiction.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't think any of us really thought about that.
He was looking at me crazy when I said it at the WJTV forum. Because no one knows these things.
And that's something I'm glad I got a chance to say before this camera gets too hot. Zach's my favorite researcher. That's why I call Zach. I'm like, you need to hit me up, man. Give me a holler. Because I'm like, I love the way he researches. You finding out the facts behind the scenes. And that's what I love. Information. Information gives you the tools you need for the transformation to get us in a better situation. Sound like Jesse right now.
It's on the bar.
But hey, I used to be a rapper.
Hey, I'll leave.
You don't know about me. I'm older now. But yeah.
Well, I still am, so I respect
And respectfully, we might do a campaign song next month. You never know, because I'm gonna be following Zach around and giving him some support out here. Because, like I said, we really need to respect our youth who step up. And I'm not calling him a youth. He's younger than me, 20 years damn near. Let them lead the way to their future. See, I'm looking at retirement.
Right.
I'm not trying to. Well, even though God has given me plans, it wasn't my plan.
Right.
So I'm helping those who I feel the plans are for.
Yep.
The plans aren't for your retirement. They're for your future.
Yep.
And in those plans, Zach's generation is going to make it comfortable for us elders.
Yeah.
Because I think they care about their grandparents.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing. We have to. Something no one's talking about. They're talking about, okay, we need someone who can unify Jackson with, and they're usually talking about the parties, right?
Yeah.
I don't believe that of the candidates that are running alongside me, I don't believe any of them are going to be able to unify these cultural differences.
They're not trying to.
I don't believe they're going to be able to unify the generational differences.
They're not trying to.
And I think that we have to look at the fact that it's been too much the older folks dogging on the young folks. The younger folks, they call the YNs and all that, they don't have any respect for the old folks because they know these old folks been hypocrites. They watch them be hypocrites.
They know us very well.
So they say, why you gonna tell me I'm wrong, but I'm just following in your footsteps? It's gonna take somebody who is close enough to that generation to say, look, man, you don't have to follow that example. There's a better way.
Yeah.
But I get why you're this way. And to reach up to the older generation, hey, I understand you may make some mistakes, but I believe you still have something to offer. And we don't want to say, we'll see you later. We want to say, sit down here, get yourself a nice drink, and watch us work.
Yeah.
Just point where. Right?
That's exactly.
You don't have to have your name on everything. We're going to make sure you get what you want out of it.
Do you really want your name on something right now?
You know what I'm saying? Let us do the hard work. Let us put the passion. And guess what? There's other thing. Whoever's in office now needs to be setting up those teenagers for the next 10 years.
And we were talking about that.
Yep.
Like grabbing those Jackson State students who are in political science.
I want these people.
Have them on the team.
I want them in my. I don't know how illegal it is. I'll have to look into it. But at least with internships, I want teenagers in my administration so that by the time they turn 18, they can have a real position.
I think that's a great idea to offer them jobs.
Yes.
Accounting students, helping us find out where the hell our money went.
Because they got time.
Yeah. Architectural students. Helping us design their future.
I want to build a new city hall when we have the money for it, which I think we could get the money for that with some grants and with enough private donations.
As many grants as I've heard we've missed.
Yeah, we missed out on it. We missed out on COVID money. We had $42 million of ARPA funds that were set aside, and we only acquired 36 of it. We missed out on $6 million.
Because we have people who may have been good at their previous job. They're just not good at this one. And so if we have nothing to lose, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close because we don't know how hot it'll get. If we don't have anything to lose, because guess what? I don't think our streets can get any worse. I don't think we have any more schools left to close. I don't think the water company they can keep raising the price for some undrinkable water. That the plants don't even want. And I'm sure if they do that, that's worse than raising taxes, because see, the older people don't pay taxes. They tax exempt. They not water bill exempt. And see, that's them not letting you know that I know what the hell they doing. They still trying to take your grandmama house. Those older people who are in office, who are rich, are still trying to take your grandmama house. Because
it's the thing, they try to blame it on the Jackson Water Company that was formed, with Ted Hennepin. But they're following the laws the city council wrote.
Well, they actually follow the laws that Dodge beat Ford wrote. That company that has our water is a for-profit company. Their only concern is the stockholder. And we got to get rid of them.
Well, no, I have to correct you on that. This is not a private partnership.
No, it's a private company running
No.
that water company.
Well, what Jackson Water is with
Educate
Jackson is a public-private partnership. They are still bound to the agreements of the city and what the federally court stipulated order says. So they had to form a company, LLC, in order to do the setting up of hiring, salaries, and this and that. And
Did they
whatnot.
form up a nonprofit?
No, if they did nonprofit, they would not be able to get.
So it's a
certain funds.
for-profit company.
So the company itself is for profit, but they don't run as a private company doing private things. They have to. See, I've been in the Jackson Water
I
Academy.
just want you to keep telling me this is a for-profit company, though,
There's
right?
6 types of governances that we can be using. We're not there. This is not a private partnership. It's a public-private partnership.
It's a public partnership.
So they still have to follow the rules that the Jackson Water or that the city used to have to follow. The reason they're having to raise rates is not because of them not using their money wisely. It's because Jackson City Council entered into a general bond agreement in 1993, and they ratified a covenant that requires that if they do not if the water system does not bring in 120% of what is owed on that bond, they must raise the rates. They are bound by that covenant for that bond to raise rates. It's not even a decision. Otherwise, they can be sued.
So our educated city council, led by Kenny Stokes, signed a deal with the city water company.
I have to go back and read it's a long document, but whoever it was that they decided to give bonds out to, so I don't know what project they worked on, what it was for. I have to go back and read. It's on the Jackson Water website.
But I'm saying, though, when is it ever paid off?
It will be paid off, but we have over $20 million in that debt, and the current administration was taking the money that we should have been paying those bonds and putting it into other departments.
So we basically, our educated city council got us into this.
And the mayor's administration.
And the mayor's, so because they taking money out of it.
Yeah.
So our water
They
bills.
were robbing Peter to pay themselves. They weren't even paying Paul, they were paying themselves.
And didn't fix
No.
the water system.
That's how the water plant failed. That's why we have 100 miles of pipe. They think that, that $800 million is so much money. No, it's $450 million specifically